Oliver Stone has come under fire from critics who claim he plays fast and loose with the truth in his new movie, JFK. Stone focused on New Orleans District Attorney Jim Garrison's case against a local businessman accused of plotting to kill President Kennedy. In the movie, Garrison is a hero, but as Garrett Glazer found out, some people in New Orleans tell of a different Jim Garrison.
Nothing is going to keep me from going ahead with my investigation of John Kennedy's murder.
In JFK, Kevin Costner is cast as Jim Garrison, a real-life New Orleans district attorney. Garrison conducts his own investigation into President Kennedy's assassination after he learns that suspected killer Lee Harvey Oswald had lived in his city prior to the shooting.
The conclusion of the Warren report that President Kennedy was killed by a lone assassin is a fairy tale.
But after 3 years of chasing leads, Garrison was able to indict just one man, prominent New Orleans business executive Clay Shaw. The DA said Shaw was linked to Oswald. After a 6-week trial, Shaw was acquitted in less than 1 hour. Garrison was ridiculed as a headline seeker, and he was criticized for ruining Shaw's life. Now, JFK the movie presents a Hollywood version of events. Much of the national controversy over JFK has centered on the way the film handles details of President Kennedy's assassination. But here in New Orleans, they're arguing about something far simpler as well, the way their former district attorney is portrayed in the movie by Kevin Costner.
I find Garrison very attractive in his bravery and his courage.
But many do not. Rosemary James was one of the news reporters who broke the story of D.A. Garrison's investigation. She feels Costner's stylized heroic role was pure filmland fiction.
Costner plays the role of a Robin Hood, an untouchable, a seeker of the truth, and none of those things apply to Jim Garrison.
Reporter David Snyder also feels the real Garrison was a relentless publicity seeker who grew to love the spotlight. He told me Costner's portrayal reflects none of that.
I don't see much of Jim Garrison in the movie.
What's wrong, Lou?
Boss, the president's been shot.
Among those who did support Garrison was his chief investigator, Lou Ivan.
I think he wanted to find the truth for the American people, and he really wanted to find out. I support Jim Garrison 100%.
Lou Ivan is not alone in his support of Jim Garrison. Another investigator, who would not appear on camera, told Entertainment Tonight he sees Garrison as a heroic figure who needs no defense. And Jim Garrison draws support from this man, former insurance salesman Perry Russo. Russo's credibility has been challenged many times over the years. Still, he was Garrison's star witness at the time of the investigation because he claimed to have overheard Clay Shaw and Lee Oswald having a conversation about killing President Kennedy. Russo now drives a cab in the French Quarter. He says the depiction of Garrison by Costner was on the mark.
Very accurate by Costner. He did an accurate job for the parts that I understood and had seen back in 67, 68, and 69 in Garrison's office. They were very, very close to what happened.
Russo served as a paid consultant on JFK. He was given a small part in the film, a bar patron who cheers when there's an announcement that the president is gravely wounded. The real Jim Garrison also appears in the film. In an ironic bit of casting, he plays Supreme Court Justice Earl Warren.
I know of no fact which would refute the commission's conclusion that Lee Oswald was the lone killer.
Some people say I'm crazy.
But it's the final courtroom scene that director Oliver Stone staged for JFK that has the people who were actually there most upset. In the scene, Costner, as Garrison, is shown conducting cross-examination, as well as closing with a long, dramatic summary. The lawyer who defended Clay Shaw and was in court says the scene is a pure fabrication.
They had Garrison trying the case, which he didn't do.
An assistant DA named James Alcock conducted most of the trial, and Diamond says that Costner's interpretation of Garrison as a hero is also wrong.
He acted as a real hero fighting against almost insurmountable odds, and that isn't what Garrison was.
Director Oliver Stone has admitted to the use of reenactments, composite characters, and condensed information. He defends Costner's portrayal this way.
I did not get into the specifics of his character because there wasn't time in a movie like this. It's not a biography of Jim Garrison. It really uses Garrison as a sort of a metaphor for all the researchers.
Regardless of their views on JFK the movie and Kevin Costner's portrayal, just about everybody here agrees the real Jim Garrison is a bigger-than-life figure whose investigation, good or bad, will forever remain a part of this city's history. In New Orleans, Garrett Glazer, Entertainment Tonight.
Thank you, Garrett. Jim Garrison is reported to be in extremely ill health at this time, and while he was a consultant and actor in the movie, he has not commented on any of the controversy surrounding it.
JFK has generated a tremendous amount of attention. Newspapers and magazines have praised and condemned Oliver Stone and his movie. When we conducted an exclusive Entertainment Tonight Us magazine poll to find out how all of the publicity had affected people, 97% responded that they had read or seen accounts of the controversy surrounding the movie. And all of the attention paid to the Kennedy assassination has changed people's minds.
John F. Kennedy's murder was probably one of the most terrible moments in the history of our country.
In our ET Us magazine poll, we also learned that JFK caused 68% of the country to talk about President Kennedy's assassination.
It's a part of our history. It's not just a personal matter. It's a part that belongs to all Americans. And I don't think the truth was told in the 1960s.
And over half of the people we talked to agree with director Oliver Stone in believing there was a conspiracy among United States government agencies to kill the president in 1963.
Why was Kennedy killed? Who benefited? Who has the power to cover it up?
The ET Us magazine poll shows that almost 70% disagree with the Warren Commission's conclusion that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in killing President Kennedy.
Very murdered, Mr. Garrison. Do you have any idea?
Will future generations accept the movie's account of the assassination as fact? Well, almost 66% of our poll said no. In our exclusive Movie Track survey, we spoke with theater audiences in 5 cities right after they saw the film. JFK was the 4th highest in the last 100 films we have rated. A whopping 95% of the audience rated the film outstanding or above average, and 9 out of 10 said they would pay to see it again or recommend the movie to their friends.
The government's going to jump all over your head, Jimbo.
There were some complaints about the length of the movie, with people tired from the emotion and detail. But there was a lot of favorable comments centering around the right to know what really happened. And there were some who believed the film, while thought-provoking, was still only speculation. And many, over half, thought New Orleans District Attorney Jim Garrison, played by Kevin Costner, was a patriot, right or wrong.
Say, let justice be done or the heavens fall.
Enough stars in this film?
Everybody Turn Around is a cameo.
One moviegoer said we'll need a part 2 to JFK in the year 2029 when all the government documents are finally made public.
Something actually may happen between now and then to demand that those documents are public before that. We're going to be right back.